Is it a fantastic way to get recognition? Which is definitely part of it. You want people to know that you worked really hard. And not just like the general community, but like your bosses and stuff. I lost my point. Oh god. Not only do you want to impress them. Oh, right. But also it really does give me a lot of confidence. And it lets me hone in on things that I might not have focused on otherwise that are actually still important. Like, how often do we really mention, like, the prize pool and what's fought for? It can be surprisingly rare. In fact, there's even been some times where people have gotten upset that certain casters didn't know what the prize pool was. And I thought about it, and I was like, I guess that's fair. We really should know what the prize pool is. But anyways, on other things. Who dis? Who dat? I need to spell hero with the right capitalizations, or I'll be crucified. What font's gonna win out today, you guys? System? Let's go with system. That's a fun one. Oh my god, yeah. It's like computers and stuff. I didn't write anything. Wait. What is heroes appropriate? Is it... I think I did it right. Did I do it right? I can't go higher than 12 on the system font? What's even the point of it then? Honestly. Well, it was all caps anyway, so the font I chose, so that's perfect. This introduction is fantastic. In the top left has the red Protoss. It is HerO. The X-Team Liquid HerO, who just recently came out of retirement officially again, I think. And in the bottom right is the blue Terran. It is Bomber, who also came out of retirement, but like a year ago at this point? 2 years ago at this point? Kind of along the same timeline as Tasia. HerO is going for some cheese. Back in the day, he was not known as a cheesy player in a derogatory sense because everyone loved HerO. But he definitely had his fair share of abusing the Protoss race. And I mean that in the most loving way possible. But he did it with a lot of personality, a lot of charm, and a lot of cool tricks. Cool micro. Like many people coming back from the game, back to the game from... like Wings of Liberty especially, so like very old players. His weakness is certainly in his macro. And believe it or not, I'm going to say something that many people from 2014 will disagree. They'll immediately jump down my throat. But Bomber's problem is also a lot of macro. His macro was his strongest suit. That's literally what Bomber was known for. But his macro isn't updated to the point that everyone is at now in 2020. Which is far better than it was back in 2013, 2012, whatever. He also does still have very old-fashioned senses in the way that he controls Terran, the way he expects engagements to go down. But I'll talk more about that if we actually have something more specific to talk about. Right now, it's a lot more on the Adepts coming in and then the Oracle also coming in. Little mistimes, though. If the Adepts come in with the Oracle, it's a little more brutal. It is still going to work out as HerO was hoping for, but that I think was going to be a little more brutal. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well. Looks like the Adept's going to get out, the Oracle survives, and everything's okay. Bomber actually feeling so great about the defense, goes ahead and salvages the bunker, which is a kind of strong stance to take, but in this case it is right. He is fine to do that, as he has a Cyclone on the way as well as a Viking, and these guys didn't use Game Heart. Ugh. Darn it. This is definitely very mild southern. It's not! Stop trying to guess! Oh my god! Oh, Cyclone lock onto something. That's not good. Oh, but the high ground saved it. Cyclone is very deadly to Viking oracles. Viking is also deadly to oracles. Ooh, Viking Takes the shot on the Oracle to get the kill, but Cyclone gets stuck on a stasis. That's an okay trade. Behind it, HerO does go for a third base and into Blink as Bomber continues not investing into the future. You can respond to that aggressive Stargate opener, realizing it's a proxy and all that, by going for a Viking and Cyclone. But to continue further on Viking production and factory production, as opposed to kind of instantly swapping into 2 barracks or at least 1 more barracks for stim, usually means you're going to go for a push. If he doesn't go for a push, I feel like this is kind of a waste of mid-game production for reasons I actually kind of went over in the last series. Wait, 2 series ago. But it looks like what was really stalling him out was a stasis trap on his Marines. So he definitely is going for a push here, and that makes a lot more sense. And that could be very deadly, as HerO does not have a very strong army right now. Even with Blink done, it's still not a strong army. There are no missile turrets up, so an Oracle coming in could grab a lot of kills, assuming that there's no Widow Mine, which there is not. But it looks like HerO is not going to be able to do that. Oracle is back at home. Would probably want to go for a stasis trap, because it honestly isn't going to help out anywhere else. Wow, it instantly gets demolished. This push is now super deadly. Again, if Bomber just stayed home with this, it's such a missed opportunity. It's, you know, not very good, but this seems like it's going to go favorably for Bomber, in my opinion. The bunker's not going to finish, as I think at the last second there, Bomber was like, where's the army? But without that high ground vision, which he will now grab with the Adepts, that tank initially stalls out this push. The natural here under fire from so many units, a couple bunkers coming up too, is going to make this a harder contain to break for HerO. Then back at home for Bomber, who only has to cancel his 3rd CC, bring some SCVs, and tackle this with a Viking tank combination. Vikings having the anti-mechanical bonus makes them hella good against Protoss. Before that, and before their ability to no wait, they could always transform. I'm dumb. Before their additional mechanical bonus, and, oh, the Oracle changing its tag to armored, Vikings were not a crucial part of a push. They were, like, very not helpful to a push. But now they're, like, they are really one of the perfect ingredients to defending and punishing some Stargate openers. Probably paying attention to the I'm trying to look at chat. I'm getting distracted very easily now. It's 2 in the morning. So the bunkers were salvaged. That might have been a little preemptive. He agrees. He's like, you know what? Wait a second. HerO is going to clean this up, but not without severe losses. Already losing control of his natural. Actually, just straight up losing his natural. He's finishing it very soon. There's a long time not to be mining from it, and that includes the gases. Long distance mining, actually. 3rd base, not even fully saturated. What is the final takeaway? So we got to cancel on an almost completed 3rd CC, and that was probably the... it was 50% of why that push was good. The other percent was, you know, the SCVs not mining from the natural. But now it's done. The SCVs went back to mining pretty quickly, all things considered. And Bomber is finishing all of his important upgrades, including at least 1 attack upgrade. With DT coming in that just reveal his access to that technology. So now Bomber will have advanced notice. I don't think that was the best use of your hidden dark shrine tech. It's something that every Terran's like, oh, okay, it's a weird game, I should expect this. But to actually just play your hand that fast was maybe a bit of a blunder. And Bomber went for a double drop that was not seen, it looks like, from that DT. So it's going to come in here and actually, ooh, the Twilight Council. Oh, he's going to grab it. I could have grabbed Charge. I think that'll be very worthwhile. I mean, he's going to grab a bunch of probes, which is also pretty damn good, but... is he going to grab Charge? Oh, no. Oh, he's going to do it. He gonna get it. He got it. Grabs the probes and Charge and drops to the main base. A single DT is there to defend, but this is not looking so hot right now for HerO. As Bomber does not save his 2nd portion of the drop. That's a bit of a bummer right there. He still saves 1 drop and can now take his 3rd CC out in the forward position. He's got double upgrades going on here, while HerO only is halfway to his +1 armor, which actually I was even going to comment that armor was probably going to be better than attack. He will eventually have both, but now he doesn't have Charge, which is still a pretty crucial ingredient to a gateway-based army. HerO, this is actually kind of HerO's wheelhouse, though. HerO was known for his micro, his cheese, kind of funky games, and he was also known for some pretty serious comebacks. This was at a time when Puma was basically, like, the go-to Terran example. That's a real throwback name, right? Where the 1-1-1 push was the thing to do, like, on one base. Ahana means family, and it means being pushed by a Terran. Ha 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 ha. So keep his comeback potential as high. Like keep that in mind. It's with a grain of salt, you know. Like it's a thing for him, but it was again like a very different time, and I dare say a worse time. So yeah, but this is like where these like so many of his very emotional victories were off the back of either some very emotional times in his life, or just like they were very, very close series. Hey guys, hey y'all, how you doing? Standard American's usually West Coast? That's not really where Standard Americans came from, though. Anywho, Stalker's caught out on the right side, not available with Blink, or not paying attention, not sure which one. War Prism tries to go into the main base, goes for an attack with DTs and Zealots. I saw DTs, there were no DTs. I'm blind, I'm crazy. Still, he could warp in DTs. I got a point somewhere in there. That is a lot of Zealots he warped in instead, though. There are still some missile turrets around for detection, and there's been scans available, too. But HerO is trying his best to make a game out of this, and it's working out all right. Not only is this doing a bunch of damage to the production line and maybe the SCVs, but it's also keeping Bomber distracted, so he's not taking perhaps the best fights possible on the front line. I'll also add in that Bomber is perhaps making a crucial mistake in not actually utilizing his factory for Widow Mines, which seems like a big mistake to me. Not just because generally Widow Mines are really good if you can control them, which is always a bit of a caveat, but also it's good against a mass gateway army, which HerO has kind of been forced on due to the circumstances of this game. And then only continuing to push that style with going, Dark Shrine and Archons. So I think Widow Mines would have been really, really cool. Not only Widow Mines, but Ghosts, which... Did you build a Ghost Academy and lose it? Nope, once again, me being crazy. Yeah, both of those things are really good. And now I get to talk about how Bomber, as I was mentioning in the first 5 minutes of this game, kind of has an old-fashioned approach to a lot of things here. In many different ways. But you know he's about to win the game, so I'm just going to shut up for now, because he just got, like... How much supply was that? It was like 60 supply? That was game over right then and there. He was already going to have massive kiting potential unless some seriously good force fields would come down. But to just grab an army like that, of course it makes it look super easy. Of course it does. And now HerO is definitely going to die. One desperate little force field doesn't do anything. He's got most of Bomber's army going into his natural. He's trying to get Storm right now, which would be very effective against such blitz tactics, but it's not going to work out. Zealots come into the natural, but it's going to be denied by a couple of Marauders. Third base under attack as well. I assume a decent amount of SCVs went down considering their worker counts right now. But it's not going to make up for a triple supply Terran army. That's a lot of supply, guys. There we go. That's it. One last storm just to say he had it. GG. GG. HerO was doing all the right moves trying to make a comeback, but funnily enough, I think nowadays you can't really do like fast or emergency storm to really make a comeback. We haven't seen that really work in a while. It's like more on the disruptors' role now to make those comebacks than storms. People have gotten better at splitting. People have gotten better at macroing, so they always have minerals for ghosts. Ghosts have gotten better with the EMP upgrade. Let's not forget that. But funnily enough, with what Bomber was doing, if HerO had gone for like desperate fast storms, he might have done all right. Also, not splitting your army in half would have also been better. You know how it is. It's confirmed she's a southern accent. I don't know. This is my last comment on it. Y'all is not used by anyone in my family. It's not used by any of my friends. It is something that I picked up because it is so much more efficient than saying you all, which said fast and it casts. It comes out as y'all anyways.
Apparently you are doing something right, Captain.
And any other southern accents you might be hearing is me trying to be comical. That's the last thing I'll say. Thank you, 47 is for that tier 138 month resub. Bananas, bananas, bananas. Number one, number one, number one. Woo! Is there any channel 47 is doesn't mod? Well, 47 is did this really, really weird thing. I mean, it was totally crazy. I mean, I can't even believe he did it, right? I mean, this is the actual trick, okay? Like Twitch viewers hate people who know this trick. It's one simple trick, all right? He did this really weird thing where he was just like a really nice guy and was active in chat, and people trusted him to be mod. It was so weird. He was just like in all the StarCraft channels being like a super positive person and knowing how to mod and not being a douchebag about it, and people gave him mod. It was weird. Can't explain it. Apparently that's just like, it's a secret to success. In the bottom right! Which I now have to change the damn thingamajigger. It is HerO, down one, on Simulacrum. Simulacrum. Depends on which pronunciation you want to go for. In the top left, it is Bomber on Simulacrum. I hate this word. I hate it so much. It doesn't sound like a word. I literally have to think about the Google pronunciation with a man's robot voice to even try and do a decent job at it. I know Wardy says Simulacrum, which is funny because he said that was the American version and he doesn't think the English version Simulacrum sounds very good, but I actually think the Simulacrum sounds better, which is apparently the English one, so I shouldn't think that, but I do. But either one, an A or an A, it's a dumb word. Dumb word for dumb map. No one's actually guessed where I'm from correctly. That's fine. That's more than fine. Don't do it. And I wouldn't confirm it if you did. Southern accents are absolutely a joke. Are you kidding me? Easiest joke ever. Oh, bunker coming down pretty quickly for Bomber. He did get a pretty safe bunker last game and was pretty much rewarded for that effort by seeing it was a proxy Stargate with adept harassment. Not that it saved him from taking damage, but it did help. Okay, Reaper, what are you doing right now? What are you trying to trick out the adepts? Guess he was trying to bait a shade and then determine what to do after that. I don't know. That's funny. You're not getting in, Reaper. Stop trying. Stop trying to make it work. It's not happening. Reaper does not get to see the Stargate, which is all types of nicely tucked back into the back of the gas geysers here. Adept, second adept does go to the Reaper platform. Takes a few shots to kill Reaper though, but the Reaper even stalled out a tiny little second there. And you don't know if the second adept had come back up, so he does not try suiciding it in. But now he has seen two adepts and talked about our last TVP. You see two adepts, it is not a bad move to assume Stargate. Not that a Stargate is the worst case scenario for Terrans anymore. It used to be that if you didn't know what was going on, the absolute worst case scenario was an Oracle because it would kill all of your SCVs. Not really the case anymore, but still. but still. If he went for a Viking and a Cyclone again, I definitely would not mind it. In this case, it would have been absolutely perfect, as it is a Stargate. Look at that. But he doesn't. He does that on... Oh. He gets the confirmation. He gets the confirmation and does change to the Cyclone Viking. While still researching Cloak. Did he cancel that and restart it? I think he did. So he's like, oh, I don't need it. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go Banshees anyways. Which, you know, we'll always say as casters, it's a bold move to go for Banshees against Stargate, because Phoenix defeat light units and Oracles reveal cloak units and blah, 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 blah. But we all know that Banshees have a knack for getting damage done. So I don't even mind if he does go into Cloak. But is he actually going into Cloak? He's getting a second Viking. No, don't do that. Don't do it. Stop. Okay, stop it. Is mod really a success? Having power on the internet? Excuse you, that is the biggest success you can ever get. Ever. Well, that's a real Phoenix, and it's just gonna die right now. That was a very bold Phoenix. But it was trying to get a scout, and it did succeed. This is one of those things where, like, yes, these two barracks were delayed because of the third CC, but can you really tell that from a simple glimpse? The timing is not so different. I don't know. I think most importantly, they weren't already done. I think that's most important, because if they're already done, and you're already worrying about medevacs with stim, then you're really concerned. And if they're already done, then you really want to get back there to see if it is a third CC or 5 barracks. With Revelation, he now sees it's a third CC, but I think you already know. Adepts get into the natural, but Marines are already on it. They're not even focus firing, so they don't kill anything. Stalkers blink up into the main base. That's a very bold move, though. This has been a pretty damn good split from Bomber. Yeah, saves his tech labs as well. Looks like he pulled because it was being targeted initially, but he knew what those dastardly Stalkers would try and grab. Nice hold from Bomber. But the Stalkers do try and go back in. Once again, not using his factory. It just seems like something you would use. And I will once again just say that this is a very old school Terran thing to do. Oh, that was a great stasis trap. Oh my god. Did that make it all worth it? Oh my god, did we suddenly just win this game? Did HerO just win this game? Did HerO just win this game? Oh my god, he's real right now. Well, that was not supposed to happen. An entire third CC goes down. And he even takes the fight. He even wins the fight. Well, okay, maybe wins a strong word. Good focus fire. Marauder slow is pretty effective. All the air units go down. Still, he got the third CC. That's pretty impressive. But he has no upgrades and he has no Colossus, and I think all that micro was not worth all the lack of macro and economy and technology. I'd say economy is actually okay, but yeah, the lack of technology is really hurting right now as Bomber's going to push in with a single upgrade, sure, but still an upgrade more than HerO has. And only one Colossus with no extended thermal lance. He takes out the Observer and immediately picks up and goes for the drop in the main base. HerO does not have a lot to work with. He does have Blink and Charge. Scan reveals not much going down. He's going to go for the Robotics Bait and deny extended thermal lance as well as any more continued Colossus production. Stalkers cannot tackle such a large army by themselves. Zealots have got to come in here with the Colossus as well. More Zealots being worked on the right side, but he's going to kite to his heart's content. And then maybe skedaddle, maybe skedaddle, maybe skedaddle. He's not going to skedaddle. He's not going to skedaddle. I think he thought about it, but then thought he needed to take out the Stalkers first and get caught in a big old loop of Zealots. He does say the Medivacs, though, in another push to the top side, including some SCVs, because why not, do hits, I don't know what that was, a pylon or something? But the Zealots are going to be able to push that back, buy enough time for the Stalkers to reinforce, and this is certainly not the counter that Bomber was hoping for. But he did just take out the Colossus tech for a little while longer, which he desperately needed to do because he really can't afford to respawn a Colossus tech in any way other than a concave right now. He cannot go for double starport, he can't really afford a Ghost Academy. But then again, Bomber doesn't really seem to care about that. So I guess he just doesn't have as much production. That's what it is for Bomber. He just doesn't have as much barracks production as fast as he would like. There you go. There's some seriously weird conversations happening in chat right now. DT's gonna come in, but instantly scan that eagle eyes from Bomber, man. DTs have always looked the same. That much is a fact. War Prism on the way. Extended Thermalance will in fact finish in this game, and now we have at least 1-1 for HerO finishing up. But you know what? Bomber already is on his way to 3-2. So still an upgrade lead for Bomber's mass bio style. Him and Marine King Prime had a lot of things to talk about in Wings of Liberty. But you know what's kind of funny is that Cure actually, I think it was Cure, recently did this on this map, Simulacrum, where he went for an extraordinary amount of barracks and really went quite light on the Widow Mines. I don't think he gave them up entirely, but he went very light on them. And it did take out a very, how to put it, very concentrated type of army. It was mostly Storm and Colossus. It was pretty sick. I wish I remembered the game and where it was from. I think it was in Alima League. I was casting with Maynard. So I'm not gonna go hard on knocking Bomber's style right now, but it is kind of funny watching him play old school. 2 attacks, both getting deflected on HerO's side of the map. Attack on the main base from the War Prism also being deflected by a couple of reinforcements. Looks like they got a decent number of SCVs. Not really. Bomber just didn't really make that many. Enough to be saturated on 3 bases, but only mineral-wise for that third. Because again, with this type of style, you don't need all your gases. You're not going into the additional technology. And since he saved all those medevacs earlier, he doesn't really need to make more medevacs either. I think if he had lost 4, it'd be a bit of a worse state, but he's still at 11. he'd still be at 7. That's fine. That's definitely enough. Well, this is getting less tricky as time goes on, so Bomber really doesn't need to make something happen. He comes in with a big concave around this third base. He's going to grab 1 disruptor before it does anything. Second disruptor not really getting a whole lot. Colossus not getting the most attacks possible as Bomber keeps dodging and weaving out of the way of them. So a lot of that front fodder went down. A lot of Zealots went down. Some Stalkers went down. And of course that disruptor was just a little out of place. And that can be one of the tricky things about having Colossus in your army against mostly Marauders, is that 1, they don't really kill Marauders that fast. 2, you're going to have a big concave on the offensive on this map. And 3, it actually is a very, we have to slow down the battle because it's StarCraft 2, but it's a very drastic difference when Colossus are always attacking versus attacking at the last couple of seconds of an army fight, right? But speaking of attacking, Bomber's certainly not done. No Colossus on the south side to give a little bit of splash damage. No Disruptors either. They're coming in a little bit late, and there's still a good concave. They go for 2 Marauders, maybe 3, but even without moving, Bomber didn't really take that much damage. He's going to focus fire them down as well. 2 Colossus totally alone. Coming in from the north side, they were just left alone to die. No. GG.